Elisa from Confetti Cakes, and today I want to show you how to make some end of summer treats. So what I have here is a little hot dog cake and an ice cream sundae, but it's really a cupcake. So all the supplies, again, you can find on my blog, so don't worry about having to grab a pen right now. You don't have to write it all down, I promise. So for my cupcakes, I'm just going to take a round cutter and cut right on down through my cupcake to make the shape of the cupcake. And then for my like little boat, my hot dog boat, what you could do is actually just kind of trace the bottom. So you could make a line on one side, a line on the other side. And so you just want it to be wide enough so it fits in, and then just long enough, just like that. All right, so then I have my two pieces of cake, my two shapes. And I'm using my serrated knife and I'm just going to cut them down the middle. So I'm going to grab my delicious maple buttercream and I'm going to put it in the bottom of the little vessels. Again, just to get some goodness down in there. And then I'm going to put my bottom layer right in, push it on down. Same thing for this guy. And then I just put a real thin layer of buttercream. So even if you don't have a pastry bag at home, just use a Ziploc, cut the corner off, put a pastry tip in, or at least make a really small area, and then you can just coat your cakes that way. And then you don't have to stop and spread them and all that stuff. So it just makes it really nice and easy. So now we're ready to put the ice cream topping, which is also made out of my cupcake frosting. And the reason why we're using cupcake versus my Swiss meringue is because it's just a little bit drier looking and it looks more like ice cream. And in fact, what I did was I made the cupcake frosting, I stuck it in the fridge for like 15 minutes, so it should be a little bit more stiff when it goes onto the cupcake. Then after I take it off, I'm going to stick it back into the fridge or freezer, and that way it'll really have the look of ice cream. So we'll start by making all of our fondant decorations. We need to make a hot dog, the bun, and also some hot fudge. So sometimes you have to knead the fondant. I'm going to roll it between my hands to make a hot dog. So anyway, but I can pinch it on all the ends, and then it comes together just like how a real hot dog would be made. And then I go back in on the ends with my scalpel, one of my favorite tools, and I can use the back to just make almost like an X. And then I can use the real scalpel part just to go back in with some more little lines. And that just gives the end of the hot dog the look of like it was really, you know, pulled together, like a real hot dog. And so while I'm in the red bag of pre-dyed fondant, I'm also going to make a little cherry for our sundae. So I just started using this new sculpting chocolate in white. And first of all, it tastes delicious. So anyways, for the hot dog bun, I pull all the seams down. You'll see this is a continuing theme in my life. And so just make the general shape to your hot dog bun, like that. But then you want to cut 2/3 and 1/3, because remember how when you open up that hot dog bun, it's never sliced perfectly, right? It's almost always thicker on one side. So I'm going to leave it 2/3 here and 1/3 here. So now I have my two sides to my bun. And then I'm going to go back, use my favorite tool, scalpel. And so I just want to start by making a little border along the edge, because on last analysis of my hot dogs, that's how it was. And then I just want to create like these divots, because basically that's what these buns have. And then we can go ahead and dust it. And so that's where I needed the little bit of yellow and brown candy powder. Just use a little bit of yellow and a little bit of brown. What I want to make sure is that I have a nice rounded motion, and also that I don't go near that, quote, dry part, right? That's the lightest part of the bun. So I just want to go like this. If you were doing a ton of these, I guess you could use an airbrush, but I'm not really an airbrush girl. So now I'm going to finish off the hot dog, get the hot dog right in there, right? Just like that. And then the same thing with the bun. And then the last little detail Okay, this is a huge argument in my family. What do you put on your hot dog? Well, in my family, we put mustard. If you're my husband, you're putting ketchup, but I'm just gonna use mustard made out of royal icing with a little bit of yellow gel. So I could really squeeze it on, make it look real mustard-like, around, however you wanna make it. All right, so there we have our little hot dog ready to be eaten next to our other little hot dog. And so let's go ahead and finish our sundae. All right, so now I have my ice cream cupcake. And so what I wanna do is I just wanna take all these little wispies and kind of put them against the edge here. And then I wanna create almost like a ring, because that's where we want the hot fudge fondant to kind of look like it's coming from. Looks like a bad do, if you ask me. Let's see, I could just use a knife. If you have a spatula, whatever. This part's not so important. Here's my chocolate fondant, yum. So I make a ball. Again, I put all the seams on the bottom, and I'm actually going to roll it out, not completely flat, because I wanna leave a little bit of kind of like a thickness, because remember, this is hot fudge. And then I'm going to use a good old-fashioned pastry tip. Any size will do, but just to start getting the shape. So some could be longer, some could be shorter. And so just take your fingers and round out all those points. And that can just go right on. And I could always fix it once it goes on if I want something more or less. And then I kind of squeeze it in on here. And so if any of the icing's coming down too far, you can always like tuck it up, but this is fine, it's cute. And then I'm just going to use some piping gel because I want it to look really shiny. Good old-fashioned piping gel. It has no taste, so it won't bother anyone. Then I take these sprinkles. So I just love these cute little old-fashioned colorful sprinkles. So I'm just gonna sprinkle them. Not much to tell you here, but just have fun and be prepared for finding a few on the floor later. Okay, and then we're going to take our little cherry. If you feel like it, you can always just put a little stem made out of fondant, or I just have this cloth covered wire that I use when I make fancy sugar flowers. So I go all the way down and then just kind of make it how you want it. And then any extra buttercream, you can even just like pull it up, make it look really like a ice cream sundae. And then there you are, your end of summer treats. I hope you enjoyed this little treat, and please subscribe to our channel so you can stay in touch and know what we're doing for the next week. Thanks so much.